Good evening, everybody. Let me just do some clickety-clicking and then we can get on with this. Huzzah! Hi, thanks very much for joining us. I appreciate it. I hope you're all having a wonderful time. There's lots of different holidays going on at this time of year, but obviously it is the Christmas Eve in the UK at the moment, so there's lots of children, including my own, who are absolutely bat crazy, bouncing off the walls of their bedroom, desperately trying to go to sleep in time for Santa to come. So yeah, it's going to be quite an exciting one. So hi everyone, hi. I'm Dan, for those of you who don't know me, who are just joining the stream for the very first time. This is a homebrew scenario. It's called the Golden Knight, and it was written by Trevor Ainsworth. He's based over in Nova Scotia. So fair play, thanks very much for your email, Trevor. We really like this. There's a couple of reasons why we really like this campaign, but I can't say any of them, otherwise of course it's going to give it away, Trevor. But thank you very much indeed for sending it in. The whole team's had a look at this. This is reasonably close to what you sent in, actually, so we're just going to go ahead and play this. The start room for this dungeon is here in the centre. We're going to attempt it with 2 heroes. So I'm going to lay the heroes out here, and we're going to choose which heroes are going to join us. So we've got Julius, Magnus, Ragnar, Norlesser and Erin. I'm going to roll a single d6, which reminds me, I'll just pop dice cam on. Bear with me a second, sorry. There we are, look, a shiny dice cam. Okay. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to roll a single d6, and that's a 3. So that's Julius, Magnus, Ragnar. So Ragnar will be our first hero. And the second d6, I'm going to scroll them up like this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 or 6 will be re-rolls. Let's have a look. 3, 1, 2, 3. Norlesser Thundershack. So this evening's heroes are Ragnar Agathorn, our Viking character, and Norlesser Thundershack, she's a human orphan raised by orcs. Now, before we do the usual thing of rolling for health points and then action points and dive on into the dungeon, we must of course set the scene for the Golden Knight. The Golden Knight was sent into the Gorgon's Loch many centuries ago, and has been trapped here by dark magic as a golden statue. And this golden statue, containing the Golden Knight, stands in the centre of the dungeon, and has for centuries. However, you have been gifted a golden brooch. This magical golden brooch is said to be enchanted so that it will wake up the Golden Knight, and he will then join your band and help you fight your way out of the Gorgon Queen's magical dungeon and to freedom. Or at least that's what we hope. So, here is the golden brooch. It's either been given to Ragnar or Norlesser. That's up to you as well. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds in chat while I just pop the character standees into their start positions. If no one's come up in chat with an idea by then, I'll just roll 1d6 and we'll work out who's holding it. So we have Ragnar Agathorn. Let me just go and get the close-up camera on. And I can show you these standees if it's your first time. There we are. So we've got Ragnar Agathorn there. He's starting here. And Norlesser Thundershack. There she is. There's Norlesser. Lovely. I'll give you a quick close-up of the golden statue as well. The Golden Knight in this context. There we are. Right. Now, for those of you more astute among you, you will also notice a white key lock directly behind the knight. Unlocking that will do a thing. We're not sure what thing it'll do, but it'll definitely do a thing, probably worth doing. So let us begin. What we're going to do is, the party's already been given the golden brooch, and as it only costs 1 action point to move from one to the other, I'm just going to go ahead and roll 1d6. If it's even, Ragnar gets it. If it's odd, Norlessa gets it. And it's odd, so Norlessa gets it. There we are. And finally, one thing I've forgotten is to add a couple of lives to our heroes. They're not going to get all 3 tonight, but they are going to get a couple of lives just in case they need them via these lovely death markers. So we can begin. The first thing we do is roll 2d6 for Ragnar's starting health points. Pretty good. Excellent. Okay, that'll give us a good run. And Ragnar's starting action points are 7. Okay, so with those 7, he's going to move 1, 2, 3. There's no spawn point in here. 4, 5, and I think 6. I'm just going to stay here. I'm not going to spawn that enemy yet. And then with his final action point, he's going to do a search. Here's the search pile, and that yields... Oh, great. A snake trap. So this snake trap, if you roll 1d6 to determine your fate, 1, 2 or 3 you're unharmed, 4, 5 or 6 take the damage of 1 health point. 4, 5 or 6, he loses a health point. Oh dear. Okay, so I'll just knock that 10 down to 9. Lovely. Right, Norlessa's turn to begin. 2d6. Gives her 12, a maximum health. Excellent. It's a really good start. And another 7 action points. She's going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've decided to keep our heroes together. And in fact, I'm just going to go 6. And she can search once as well. Her search reveals a gold piece. Okay. No enemies on the board. Back to Ragnar. Action points, 8 action points. So he's going to use one of them to stand here, leaving him with 7. This room has an enemy spawn point, but just 1 spawn point, so there's no point rolling a dice. You just take the first enemy off the pile, and it's Queen's Guard number 4. The Queen's Guard number 4 arrives. Good looking fella. Right there. The Queen's Guard number 4 has 3 health tokens. 1, 2, 3. And Ragnar has 7 points remaining, so he's going to use 1 to get toe to toe with the Queen's Guard. He can attack up to 4 times, which he's going to do. He's going to attack it once. Scoring 4. Not great. Queen's Guard defends with 2. Oh, only just, but it defends itself. Leaving Ragnar with 5 action points and 3 attacks if he needs them. A little bit better, 7. Queen's Guard defends with 11, so it's fine again. Its third attack. Sorry, Ragnar's third attack. 6. Queen's Guard defends. Oh, with 11 again. And Ragnar's final attack. 6. And its final defense. Oh, 2. The difference is 4. It's got 3 health points. He does manage to kill it, but it took all of his attacks to do so. So, well done, Ragnar. Ragnar just. I've recently started to mispronounce Ragnar's name. Very strange. Okay, there we are. So there goes Queen's Guard number 4. He's got 3 action points remaining, so he's going to do 1, 2, and then he's going to do a final search with his final action point. And he finds Wyeth's Chakram, an optional ranged weapon to attack with. It's a throwing disc that always returns to its owner. Awesome. Okay. Pressing on, we get to Norlessa's turn. 8 action points, right, that's more like it. So Ragnar's already in this room, so she can happily pass through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that leaves her with 2 action points. Now she's going to spawn this enemy. Again, it's just a single spawn point in the room. That's skeleton number 11. Shouldn't cause us too many problems. Skeleton number 11 arrives, baring its teeth because it doesn't have any choice, because it's a skeleton. There we are. Right. And Norless has got 2 action points remaining, so she's going to go toe-to-toe with it. And then with her final action point, she's going to attack it with 2d6. It only defends with 1, so anything over 7 is an insta-kill. Snake eyes. Eminently survivable. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're not having a good run with the enemies, but things may change. Okay, there is an enemy on the board now. It's this skeleton. Obviously, it's going to attack Norlessa. It does so with 2 dice. Scoring 6. Norlessa defends. Scoring 8, so she's fine. So back we go to Ragnar for his action points this turn. And he's got 5, so he's going to use them like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He's just going to go past it. He doesn't have to attack. He's not going to. Norlessa now. He's going to roll for her action points. 7. So, with those 7, she's going to... I'll take note of these because it could be quite a complicated turn. So, with the 7, the first one she's going to attack with 2d6. Anything over 7 is an insta-kill. And she gets an 8. Wonderful. So, goodbye, Skelly number 11. There we are. So with her remaining 6, she's going to do 1, 2. Let me just turn the characters here so you can see them. So she's got 4 action points remaining. Now she's going to spawn the enemies in this room. This is the room containing the golden statue, the golden knight statue, and also up to 6 enemies. So I'm going to roll 1d6, and the number that appears will be the number of enemies, because this room has the maximum of 6. Let's go. 5. Okay, pretty hard. Let's go. Let's see what's going on. So, these 5 enemies are Goblin number 3, Wildhound number 6. Oh dear, Lycan Hallwalker number 1, very powerful enemy. Queen's Guard number 1. We've seen how tricky they can be. And finally, Skeleton number 2. So let me get all these health points in place. Queen's Guard has 3. The skeleton has 2. Goblin has 1. Lycan Hallwalker has 5. I've been very lucky today because my wife's Polish, so half of my family is Polish, which means that today has been the big food banquet day for us. So I've spent most of the day munching my way through a variety of pierogi and soups and stews and sweet stuff and cakes and everything. So I'm absolutely stuffed at the moment. And then of course tomorrow I've got a traditional UK Christmas dinner to come as well. So yeah. Expect this camera to wobble a little over the next couple of weeks as I slowly try and train the excess weight back off me. Right, lovely. So, Norlessa has 4 action points remaining. Let's get these enemies on the board. So, Goblin number 3 is spawn point 1. Wildhound 6 is spawn point 2. That's dangerous because it's very close to where our heroes are. Lycan Hallwalker number 1. One of only 2 in the whole Loch. Pretty nasty character as a Lycan Hallwalker. On spawn point number 3. Queen's Guard number 1. On spawn point number 4. And finally Skeleton number 2. It's on to spawn point number 5, right next to the Golden Knight statue. Right. 4 action points remaining, Norlessa. I think the safest thing for her to do is actually to run away a little bit. So she's going to use 1 to go back into this enemy-free room. She doesn't need to respawn the enemy because she was only as far as that lava bridge there, which means she counted as being in both, and Ragnar is still in this room as well. And then with her final 3, she's going to attempt 3 searches unless she finds an enemy or dark enchantment or similar. Let's see. First is a gold ring. The second is a blue gem. This is all good treasure. And the third is a small health vial, which I fear, from the look of these enemies, we won't be needing quite soon. So that's Norlessa's turn over. Now we move on to the enemy turn. So the enemies you play in the order that they were spawned. We've got Goblin number 3 at the back. It's only got a movement of 2. It's going to take a move 2 steps toward our heroes. Wildhound number 6, however, could be the saviour here. By moving Norlessa off the bridge, Wildhound 6 is going to use its 5 movement, 1, 2, 3, it only needs 4 in fact, to clog up that area of the board. So now none of the other enemies can actually get to our heroes, which is awesome. However, Ragnar is directly in front, Norlessa is diagonally in front, so it's going to attack Ragnar, and it attacks with 2d6. So let's see what damage the Wild Hound can do. 6, Ragnar defends with 7, so he's fine, but only just. The next enemy is the Lycan Hall Walker. 1, 2, 3, 4 of its 5 movement is all it needs. It's going to move toward the player characters, but it can't get to a point of attacking them, which I'm sure annoys it terribly. Next is the Queen's Guard, exactly the same situation. And finally we've got Skeleton number 2, who is going to move diagonally 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got a little gaggle of enemies to get rid of here. And we're no longer allowed to search in here because we've got an enemy on the lava bridge. So that enemy counts as being in both rooms. So now we can't search. So it's all about battling our way through these now. So that's the enemy turn. Back we go to Ragnar. Ragnar's action points for the turn are 10, which is good. So I'll take a mark at that at 10. Obviously he's going to have an attack. And the first thing he's going to do is try and attack this Wild Hound. He attacks it with 10. A Wild Hound only defends with a single d6 and only has a single health point, so that is an insta-kill on Wild Hound number 6. However, that is not unexpected. And it's not exactly a strategic advantage because now he's opened the floodgate. So what he's going to do is, he's going to use another action point to move up on the Lycan Hall Walker, and then he's going to use another action point to attack it. This attack is 9. A Lycan Hall Walker defends with 3d6 and defends with 16, so it's fine. Ragnar's second attack, leaving him with 6 action points. 5, that's rubbish. Lycan Hall Walker defends with already 8. Yeah, 10, that's fine. His third attack, leaving him with 5 action points, is 5, rubbish again. Lycan Hall Walker. Oh, it's low, but it's enough. 7. And Ragnar's final attack. 6. And the Lycan Hall Walker defends with 9. So 4 attacks dealt with by the Lycan Hall Walker. Ragnar now finds himself with 4 action points. The one thing he can attempt is his specialist skill, and his specialist skill is instant kill. You can kill any one enemy in the 8 squares that surround him as long as he throws 2d6 and scores exactly 12, and you can only attempt this once per turn. So of course he's going to attempt that, leaving him with 3 action points. We're looking for double 6, guys. Sadly not. So he's got 3 action points remaining, and he's going to use them to run away. 1, 2, 3. The reason he's using them to run away, 1 is so that it's now Norlessa's turn, so that gives Norlessa an opportunity to have a go at the Lycan Hall Walker, which of course she couldn't do if Ragnar was toe-to-toe with it. And also you have to use all of your action points per turn if you can. So, now on to Norlessa. Norlessa's going to roll for action points. Rolls 3, which is rubbish. And strangely, that's exactly where her points counter was left, because of bad points management by me on the last turn. Isn't that amazing? So yeah, so she's got 3 left. That's the dice gods punishing me for not putting it back to 0. So with her 3, she's going to run in 1. Ah, now this is interesting. Leaving her with 2 action points. Norlessa's specialist skill, and let's not forget that we chose these characters by random using a d6 throw, is Double kill, exactly the same as Ragnar's, but she can take out 2 enemies in the 8 squares that surround her. Well, looking at this situation, she could do with activating this now. That would be extremely handy. She's got 2 action points remaining. Of course, she's got to attempt to activate double kill. We're looking for double 6. Come on, you double 6. Ah, how close can you get? Double 5. Literally no dice. So that was failed. She has a single action point remaining, and what she's going to do is she's just going to move out of the way for exactly the same reason. So Ragnar has 9 health points, she has 12. That does let the enemies flow in and start to attack, but they might get clogged up in the door if we're lucky. So that's all of Norlessa's action points done. It's now the enemy turn. In the order they were spawned, we've got Goblin number 3, this brave little beastie here. He's going to use his 2 to try and get a bit closer. The Lycan Hall Walker comes next. All it needs is a single movement to be able to diagonally attack Norlessa, which it does with 3d6. And it's a big one. 14. So Norlessa cannot help but be harmed by this because she hasn't got any magical scrolls to help her defend with any more dice. She only defends with 2 dice, so the maximum she can get is 12. And there's 14 there. There's 14 damage that she now needs to nibble down. So theoretically, if I was to throw Snake Eyes now, Norlessa would die because she's only got 12 health. Oh, I saw the 1 then for a second, guys. Okay, so that's 6. It's still a huge hit. She's taken 8 damage there, so her 12 goes down to 4. But there's a reason why the Lycan Hall Walker is the second most powerful thing in the Loch. It's as powerful as the Gorgon Queen. Yeah, there we are. So that's the Lycan Hall Walker's go. Queen's Guard comes next. Queen's Guard can do absolutely nothing, except it can pass through other enemies to get to a player character. So in actual fact, I am mistaken. It can get to us, and it will. It goes here, and then here, and unfortunately for Norlessa, Norlessa is directly opposite it, and Ragnar is diagonally opposite. So it's going to attack Norlessa. Just on the AI rules, it attacks with 3 dice, but it only defends with 2. So this could be it for Norlessa after starting with a maximum health point. So let's see. It's big again. 13. She's definitely going to get injured. 13. She's only got 4 health points left. So if I roll a 9, she's dead. Anything below a 9, dead. So I have to roll 10, 11 or 12 with 2 dice, or Norlessa Thundershack is dead and goes back to the start of the dungeon. This is bad news. 8. She's dead. She's dead, and everything she has goes to the bottom of the search pile, which is a shame. For the purposes of this homebrew, this golden brooch that we decided she was holding would now go all the way to the bottom of the search pile. However, that search pile is 100 cards deep, and because she's standing right next to Ragnar, for the purposes of illustration showing off this homebrew, and I hope this is okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say she drops this on her way to the ground, and Ragnar's going to pick it up next go, and I will make it cost him 1 action point. So I'll pop that by Ragnar. Norlessa is no more. Her ghost will be wafting around the start room. 1 of her lives has gone, and she's ready to be reincarnated next time round. She's just been killed by the Queen's Guard, so we've got skeleton number 2. It's going to use its movement where it can, which is basically just joining the queue to kick our butts here. And that's the end of the enemy turn. So back we go to Ragnar to start his. Ragnar's going to roll for action points, and he's got 9 of them. I'm going to put the marker to 8 so that he picks up the golden brooch. I shall await a roasting in the comment section after this for that, but otherwise it means we're going all the way through the search pile again, and currently we've only got 1 player character, so that's how I'm going to play it. Right, so we've got the Lycan Hall Walker. That's definitely the most powerful, but they're both attacking, both the Queen's Guard and the Lycan Hall Walker are both attacking with 3d6. So I'm going to use 1 to get within attacking distance of both of them. So I can attack the Lycan Hall Walker diagonally or the Queen's Guard dead on. And then I'm going to use a single action point to try and trigger Ragnar's specialist skill, which is the instant kill. And then I'll decide which one to kill if I'm lucky enough to pull this off. So double 6 is what we're after. 1 attempt per turn. Nope, afraid not. Okay, so with our remaining 5 action points, we are going to attack the Lycan Hall Walker. Oh dear, that's almost an insta-fail. 4. Oh wow! It only just survived with 5. Okay, second attack, Lycan Hall Walker. 7. It defends with 12. Okay. Third attack. 6. Third defense. More than 6. And finally, final attack on the Lycan Hall Walker. 6. And the final defense. Wow. 16. Okay. So we're now down to a single action point, and I'm just going to use it to step back and await my fate. So now it's Norlessa's turn. So Norlessa, much like any of your friends, if they just arrive and want to join the Loch, they don't need to wait till the end of the scenario. Her standee gets placed in any of the 9 squares of the start room. She rolls for she rolls for health points first, and her starting health. Look at that! Another 12. Another 12. Amazing. So at least she's coming out flying. It didn't help her last time, I might add, but yeah. Okay, and now we're rolling for action points. And she's got 7. So she's going to use them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leaves her with 2 action points. I'm going to spawn this enemy, which is Skeletal Bowman number 2. Let's go ahead and grab this Skeletal Bowman here. And she's going to use her remaining action points to 1 to get within spitting distance of it, and her final action point to attack it. Skeletal Bowman is another enemy that only defends with a single d6, so but this one only has a single health point, so if I score a 7 or above, it's an insta-kill. I score a 6, so it can survive. It rolls 1d6 and scores 5, so the difference is 1, and it does die, albeit just. So there goes the Skeletal Bowman. Nasty little things, those bowmen. And that's it. So now we start the enemy turn again, I fear. So the first one to be spawned was this plucky goblin. Keeps pressing on. What I don't want to do is have this room empty. Otherwise we have to spawn all these again. So that's the goblin. Next is the Lycan Hall Walker. It needs to take 1 diagonal step here to be able to attack Ragnar, which of course it does. With 7, Ragnar defends with 5 and loses 2 health points. His 9 goes to 7. That's the Hall Walker's turn. The Queen's Guard is going to take 1 step to the left and then attack Ragnar diagonally, again with 3 dice. This time scoring much better at 11. Ragnar defends with 9, loses another 2 health points. Ragnar's now down to 5 health. And finally, we have the skeleton number 2. It has a movement of 3. 1, diagonally 2, and then diagonally 3 will allow it to attack Ragnar. And it attacks with 2d6. Scoring 7. Ragnar defends with 12. Okay, so Ragnar survives all that. That's the end of the enemy turn. Back we go to Ragnar. Ragnar is absolutely pinned in. You can't move through enemies. You've got to hack your way through enemies, as it were. So, of course, he's going to attack the Hall Walker, but the first thing he's going to do is roll for action points, as everyone does at the start of every turn. So he's got 9. What's he going to do with them? Well, his first one, he's going to try the insta-kill again. Double 6. Nope. Okay. So his first attack, Lycan Hall Walker, Snake Eyes. The Lycan Hallwalker defends with 3 dice, so it's impossible to be harmed by that roll, so I'm not even going to bother rolling. Ragnar's second attack on the Hallwalker. 6. It defends with 10. His third attack on the Hallwalker. Oops. That would be a 6 that fell out, of course. Is 8. And it defends with 8. Blimey. It's a close one. Nearly nibbled something off it then. And his final allowed attack, oh dear, is 4. So of course it's absolutely fine with 12. Right, Ragnar, what was that? I think we're in the extremely rare situation of not being able to use action points here. In the golden rules and in the rule book, you'll state that you'll see it stated that you have to use all of your action points if you are able. So I don't have. I've tried the specialist skill. I don't have any potions to take. I don't have any magical scrolls to use. I'm absolutely penned in the corner. There's nothing I can do. Ragnar's turn ends. On we go to Norlessa Thundershack, who has 11 action points for this bit. So let's see what she can do with them. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, that's there we are. So that leaves her with 8. Now she's going to attack the skeleton. I know that sounds a little bit strange, but at least it gives Ragnar a way out. Attacks the skeleton with 6. The skeleton defends with a single dice and scores 3. The difference is 3. It has 2 health points, so it is killed by that attack. Skeleton's off the board. 3 enemies remain. Plucky little goblin, the Lycan Hallwalker and the Queen's Guard. Now we shall take a step right next to Ragnar and attack the Lycan Hallwalker with 8. It defends with 9. Okay. Another attack. This is Norlessa's third attack. 8. It defends with 12. Norlessa's final attack. 11. It defends with 7. The difference is 4. So 4 of the 5 health points of the Lycan Hallwalker have just been taken out by that last attack. However, it's still there. But well done, Norlessa. She has 3 action points remaining. So because her specialist skill is double kill, that's precisely what we're going to do with one of them. Nope. Obviously you've got to get a double 6 to trigger that. So now she's got 2 action points remaining, and unlike the previous situation, what she's going to do is she's going to move 1, 2 to use up her action points. You would rather have stood next to Ragnar. You can't re-enter a square in the same board piece that you've just vacated unless you're changing from one board piece to another. So you can leap up and down a lava bridge, but you can't leap up and down the same square inside a room. So so that makes for some interesting mechanics as to how you actually do that. But what that's meant is we've split our heroes either side across this kind of wall of enemies now. So that's Norlessa's go. It's now the enemy turn. So Goblin number 3 is almost into the action. 1, 2. It can smell its prey after chasing it all the way over, and in doing so empties this room. So it will need to be respawned if we're lucky enough to survive this. Next comes the Lycan Hallwalker. It's already in combat with Ragnar. It will continue to be so, and scores a highly damaging 13. Ragnar defends with 3. He's absolutely dead. Dead in the water again. So another of our heroes have been killed to death until dead. His stuff goes to the bottom of the search pile. Same thing as last time with the golden brooch. We're just going to go ahead and leave it there on the floor by Norless's feet. And he wafts around as a disembodied soul outside the start room, awaiting the next go. So here comes Norlessa. She's right next to the Queen's Guard, so I think that's the one she's got to attack. But first of all, let's see how many action points she's got to do it. 4, not many. So, her first attack, 9 on the Queen's Guard. Queen's Guard defends with 2 and gets 7. The difference is 2. 2 of the Queen's Guard's 3 health are gone, but it's still there. Norlessa's second attack, 4. Queen's Guard defends, it's fine with 8. Norlessa's third attack, 6. Norlessa's third defence, sorry, the Queen's Guard's third defence, 9. It's absolutely fine. So Norlessa only has, well, in fact, that's all of her attacks. She rolled 4. That's all of her attacks. She's done. It's now the enemy turn. So the enemy turn is going to turn on Norlessa. But you'll be glad to know that Goblin number 3 is finally getting stuck in, and with his hefty single d6, he attacks Norlessa, scoring a healthy 2. Unfortunately, that can't damage Norlessa, of course, because she rolls 2d6. But plucky effort, chap. Plucky effort. You've taken a long time getting here. Next comes the Lycan Hallwalker. Its health might be depleted, but it still attacks with 3d6. But it's got to get to Norlessa first. Of course, with its 5 movement, it can by simply doing 2 diagonal movements. And it attacks with. It's reasonably big again. It's 10. Norlessa has 12 health points, so Norlessa cannot be killed this time. That's good. So, defending against an attack of 10. She scores 6. She loses 4 health points, so her 12 become 8. But that's the Lycan Hallwalker's turn over. Now it's the turn of the Queen's Guard. It's the same strength attack. Oh, there's a 6 there. A 6, a 5 and a 2. Oh dear, so that's 13. So she's in trouble. She defends against 13 with 7. The difference is 6. Her 8 health points dwindle to 2. Ouch. That's some big licks these guys are taking. Okay, Ragnar now wafts back into the start room. Rolls for his starting health points. 10. He's going to need them. And rolls for action points. 8. Uses them to race through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he had 8, so that leaves me with 3. I need to spawn that enemy there in this room. It's skeleton number 12. Skelly number 12, there you are. Now he's going to use one of those 3 to get within clonking distance, and then he's going to offer that skeleton a one-way trip to the afterlife. And scores 4. Skeleton defends. Scores 4. Leaving Ragnar with a single action point. He attacks the skeleton once more. Oh, this time with 4. The skeleton defends. With 4. So, Ragnar, that was rubbish. Okay, now it's on to Norlessa. Norlessa is surrounded on all sides by a plucky goblin, a Lycan Hallwalker, and a member of the Queen's Guard. And she's attacking the Lycan Hallwalker. Sorry, I should have declared that first. Scoring 8. The Lycan Hallwalker defends with more than 8, 13. Okay. I've made a mistake. That was Norlessa's roll for action points. She has 8 action points, and now, with her 8 action points, she's going to use one of them to attack the Lycan Hallwalker. Please forgive me. 5. Lycan Hallwalker defends with plenty. 8. Okay, the second of Norlessa's attacks. Oh, this is better. 9. Lycan Hallwalker defends with down 14. That was a good chance. Third of Norlessa's attacks. 7. third of the Lycan Hall Walker's defence. Again, 11, it's fine. Her final of her 4 allowed attacks. 5, its defence, much more than 5, in fact 7, not that much more, but enough. So now she's got 3 action points remaining, she's surrounded on all sides by enemies, and she has a double kill option if she can pull it off. So she's going to use 1 of her 3 remaining action points to do that. 1 6, but not 2 6s. Okay, so she's got 2 action points remaining, and again, this is super rare, guys, to be in a situation where you can't use your action points, but she literally can't. She can't pass through enemies, nothing to use, nothing to gain, specialist skill, power utilised, attempted. So that's it, she's stuck in the corner, her turn ends. Back to Ragnar, fresh back from the dead. He's rolling for action points and has 6 of them. His first one, of course, is going to be spent attacking this plucky skeleton. He scores 6, the skeleton defends with 1. It's absolutely out of there. So it was obviously beginner skeleton's luck. Off you go, skeleton number 12, boneyard in the sky, and now Ragnar finds himself with 5 action points remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 will find him at the back of the Lycan Hall Walker. So that's what he's going to do. And that leaves him with a single attack. And that single attack will hopefully be a good one, because he's going to attempt to activate his specialist skill rather than attacking, because he's got the single kill, hasn't he? The instant kill. So here comes a double 6, I hope. Oh no. There we are. So there goes Ragnar's points. On to Norlessa. Can she get out of this sticky situation, guys? She's got 6 action points with which to do it, she hopes. She doesn't want to waste an attack on that goblin, really. She would much rather take out one of the big guys, and she's got them both down to 1 health point. So, first attack on the Lycan Hall Walker, 10. Lycan Hall Walker defends, 13. Second attack on the Lycan Hall Walker, that's more like it, 12. The Lycan Hall Walker defends. Oh my word, it's done it. It's fine, 15. Damn. Okay. Third attack on the Lycan Hall Walker, 4, that's pathetic. 4 a third defence, 7. And the final attack on the Lycan Hall Walker, 3. It can't fail but 2. Defend itself. So that's all of those done. She has 2 action points remaining. She's going to use 1 of them to try and trigger her double kill. I hope this works. Nope. And with the final one, again, she can't move because she's absolutely pinned into the corner there. So it's all over. It may be all over because now we start the enemy turn. And Goblin number 3 attacks Norlessa Thundershack and scores a 6. Norlessa Thundershack has 2 health points. And defends with, good, 11. Right, but again, plucky job, Goblin. You are the weakest enemy in this thing, and yeah, plucky job. Okay, Lycan Hall Walker attacks her next. Norlessa with 2 health points. Is it an instant kill? It's very close to an instant kill. In fact, is it an instant kill? Norlessa defends with 2 dice. Her maximum is 12. It's just rolled 14. She has 2 health points. Yes, it is an instant kill. Norlessa Thundershack is out of the dungeon forever. Farewell, Norlessa Thundershack. Your golden brooch, you again slide across the floor to Ragnar. I'm definitely going to get crucified for that, but otherwise we'll be here a while. And Norlessa is, never mind Norlessa, she's Norlessa than no longer here. She's off. Farewell. To be reincarnated at the start of the next Gorgon Queen's plaything. Yeah, Trevor, this is going great. I don't think we're going to get to all the mechanics of this story by the look of it, because it's now the enemy turn. The enemy turn begins with, you guessed it, the plucky Goblin number 3, who can pass through an enemy and attack Ragnar with his 1d6. And scores a 5. It's a good score from the goblin number 3. Ragnar defends. 7, only just. Okay, next is the Lycan Hall Walker. Here we go with the big hitters. Not as big as it could have been. 9, Ragnar defends. 8, loses a health point. From 10 to 9, we're into single digits. There's another big hitter coming, that's the Queen's Guard. Okay, another 9. Here comes the defence. 10, lovely. Okay, well done, Ragnar. So it's your turn now. So let's get this done. I shall roll for action points. 6. And I shall use, 7, as you can clearly see from the dice cam. I shall move that down to 6 and pick up the golden brooch, as per dodgy dealings I spoke about. So we've got 6 left. With those 6, obviously I'm going to attack. And the first thing we're going to attack is the Lycan Hall Walker. Score 4, which is pathetic. And of course it defends itself with 14. Second attack. Lycan Hall Walker, 8. It defends. 7, have I got it? I have got it. The Lycan Hall Walker has a single life left. The difference is 1. Farewell. So it took a bit of hacking and slashing, but farewell, Lycan Hall Walker. Blimey. That took some doing. Right. Now, with the third attack, I'm going to attack the Queen's Guard with 6. It only defends with 2, but defends well with 7. My fourth attack, 11. Sorry, again, that's on the Queen's Guard. I need to start making that clear because that would have been an insta-kill on the goblin. 11. The Queen's Guard defends with 11. Oh wow. Okay. So that was the fourth attack, I think. So the only thing I could do now is attempt the specialist skill, the insta-kill, which I will do. We're looking for double 6. Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of no big monsters in his face. So close, but again, no deal. That's it. The turn's over to the enemy in the order they were spawned. So goblin number 3, this plucky little chap's going to have another go at Ragnar. Scoring 3, Ragnar defends and scores 8, so he's fine. Next comes the Queen's Guard, attacks with 3 and scores 11. Ragnar defends and scores 10, so loses another health point. So 9 becomes 8. Back to Ragnar for action points. 10 action points. We should be able to do something interesting with this. But the first thing we're going to do is... Oh, now that's interesting. Shall I just run away? I'd have to take 5 of those 10 just to get onto the lava bridge to populate these enemies. And then who knows what sort of enemies I'm going to... No, I'm going to take these guys out. I'm going to take these guys out. So, of the 10 action points, that becomes 9. My first attack on the Queen's Guard. 11, that's more like it. Queen's Guard defends with 5. It's dead. Its single health point disappears. I breathe a huge, if temporary, sigh of relief, and then turn my attention to the single weakest enemy in the Gorgon's Loch. It quivers slightly as I roll 2d6. It only defends with 1, it only has 1 health point, so 7 or above is an insta-kill. And it's 7, so I only just take you out. And Goblin number 3, what a fighter. I mean, what a little trooper. Goblin number 3, what a legend. What an absolute legend. He didn't manage to kill a player character, but boy did he hang on in there for a while after a long trek to get to the action. Okay, so Goblin number 3 has gone. All that remains is for Ragnar to use his remaining 7 action points. 1, 2, 3 of them take him onto the lava bridge. 1, 2, 3. He's got 4 action points left. We're just going to roll 1d6 to see how many and where the enemies are in this room again, because we've left it empty and are coming back into it. That's what I like to see after a scenario like this. It's skeleton number 9, so it's not a particularly powerful enemy either. That's good. Skeleton number 9 on spawn point number 1. There's your 2 health points, sir. Right, I've got 4 action points remaining. There's an enemy in that room now. There's no enemies in the room behind me, but I haven't left it yet. I'm still on the lava bridge between them. So with that 4, I'm going to go back to 3 to move back into the room. 2 for my first search, which yields a small health vial. Oh, Jock's madness takes me out with a single action point to go. A mysterious cloud of smoke engulfs you. Coughing and choking, you fall to your knees and close your eyes, confused and disorientated. Your turn ends. So that's Jock's madness. Jock happens to be my family name on my wife's side. No offence, guys, but we're all mad here. Lovely. So, that's the end of Ragnar's turn. There is an enemy on the board, and he's going to come flying at me with his 3 movement. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's all he can do. Ragnar is rolling for action points. 9. That's enough. So, 1, 2, 3. Leaves him with 6. He attacks the skeleton for 4. It defends with 5. He attacks the skeleton again, this time with a little more gusto at 8. It only defends with a single dice, so even though it's got 2 health points, the difference is already 2. So that is an insta-kill. So goodbye, skeleton number 9. Back to the bone pile you go. So now we've got 5 action points left. So I'm going to search once, find a scroll of defence. Boy, could we have done with that earlier. It's a single-use item that allows you to roll an extra dice in defence, and then you put it back to the bottom of the pile. Second search, a scroll of protection right next to it. Awesome. Okay, it's like someone's laughing at me after all that. We just lost half of our team. Ragnar's lost half of his lives. Okay, third of 4 allowed searches per turn yields a small health vial again, and the final search of the turn yields a medium health vial. Lovely. Okay, so that leaves us with a single action point, and I'll use that just to move on up into the room. No enemies on the board. Ragnar rolling for action again. 8 this time. What are you going to do with your 8? I think keep searching. First search, scroll of death. Kill any enemy in the same room. And then return it to the bottom of the pile. Again, it's single use, but it's easily the single most powerful card in the Loch. Amazing. So put my magic scrolls together so I can manage this stuff a little better. Oh, I've just realised it's in the dice cam. Oh, never mind. Okay, health files can go together too. Move them up. There we go. So yep. Then I'll go ahead and search again. Bottle of Bilton's brew. It's the equivalent of a medium health vial. Third search, scroll of power. So the scroll of power is 1 extra dice when attacking, single use. And final search, another scroll of power. I've hit a seam of magical scrolls in this thing right when I've bailed all the enemies already. But hey, there we are. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh, I have 3 action points remaining. So 1, 2, 3. I'll get up and close with this statue of the Golden Knight and see what's going on. 10 action points. Right, so what to do with them? Obviously I'm going to keep searching for this key. Large health vial. A white key. Perfect. There it is. We have found the white key for the White Loch. That's taken 2 action points. I've got 2 searches remaining, but you know what? This place has been pretty dodgy, so I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to... First of all, I'm going to place the golden brooch on the chest of the statue. That's going to cost me 1 action point. It clicks into place. Is there anything on there? Let me just check my read up here from Trevor's write-up. Okay, so when you click the brooch into place, if the key isn't in place, nothing happens. Thanks for that, Trevor. We've clicked it into place, but we now have the key and we have the action points to put it in. So we're going to move 1, leaves me with 6 action points. I'm going to place the white key into the white lock. And now we're going to go back to Trevor's story. So just bear with me. As the final item is placed, the statue begins to rumble and crack, its surface fizzing with electricity. Suddenly a booming voice, begins to laugh. Ha ha ha! You have found the treasure at the end of your journey. It is I, the Golden Knight. I am not here to become your ally, but your enemy and murderer. And he steps down from his pedestal. Now it's about the stats. And what stats does the Golden Knight have? Well, all Trevor said was to give him the same stats as the Gorgon Queen. So let's just turn over the Gorgon Queen's card and see what we're up against. Well, we appear to be up against something that has a movement of 8, attacks and defends with 3d6, and has 8 health points. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Gorgon Queen card there. I'm going to give the Golden Knight, the evil, murderous, clearly sent mad by centuries of incarceration in the dungeon, his 8 health points. And I'm going to look to my 6 remaining action points and think, what on earth am I going to do with them? Well, in this instance, there's actually quite a simple thing I can do, if you think about it. And that's to use one of my 6 remaining action points to utilise the Scroll of Death and simply take him out. But that wouldn't be very exciting, would it? So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to try and kick his butt for a couple of rounds and hope he doesn't kill me. So, my first attack on the Golden Knight will use the Scroll of Power. So my 6 action points become 5 as I use the Scroll of Power, and then 5 becomes 4 as I attack him with not 2 but 3d6. So the Scroll of Power goes to the bottom of the search pack, and I attack the Golden Knight. 10. The Golden Knight defends with exactly 10. Okay, well he's a knight. Okay, he knows what he's doing. Understood. Right, the next Scroll of Power, Scroll of Protection, I might be needing those. Yeah, okay, I've got a couple of Scrolls of Protection. So I'm going to go Scroll of Power again, making 4 become 3. Pop that at the bottom of the pack. Attack him again with not 2 but 3d6, making my 3 2 in the process. This time 9, oh dear. He defends with 10. He's absolutely fine. He's a good knight. He's a good knight. He's a good knight. So now I only have normal attacks left, but I've got 2 of them. No point running. He's got a movement of 8, as like the Gorgon Queen. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack him. My first attack is 9. He defends with 8. I nibble one of his 8 health points away. Good stuff. And my final attack is 4. And he defends with much more than 4. In fact, a couple of 4s just to rub it in. And 9, so he's absolutely fine. That's the end of my turn. And I just realised that I could have gone for the instant kill of Ragnar's specialist skill as well. But again, where's the fun in that? What if it happens? We've gone all this way for Trevor's story. We finally spawn this thing and then just kill it with a magical scroll? I think not. So let's give it a go. It's now going to attack me because I'm the only thing in the dungeon apart from it. And it's going to attack me with 3 dice. So here it comes. Ah, not bad. 8. I defend. I'm going to throw caution to the wind and not use one of my defensive scrolls. I'm just going to go ahead and defend against 8 with 2 dice. I was right to do it. 8 versus 8. Bring it on, Mr. Knight. So let's see what my action points are for this turn. 6. So of those 6, I'm going to use 1 to dance around the front of him, just for dramatic effect. Then I'm going to use 1 to activate... I better not try and activate my instant killer. I might kill him, and that'd be terrible. So I'm just going to go ahead with normal attacks. 11, that's more like it. He defends with... I've got him again. 11 v 9, another 2. So now he's down to 5 health. Leaving me with 3 action points. Another attack. 8. His third defence. Or much more. He's fine. And my final attack. 3. So of course he rolls 3d6, so he can't fail but to defend himself, and he defends himself very well. Right, so I've got 1 action point remaining. No, tell a lie, I haven't. I've had 6. 4 attacks. Yes, I do. I've got a single action point remaining. So you know what? Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for the instant kill. I could use this single action point to utilise the Scroll of Death, but I'm more chivalrous than that. This is the Golden Knight, not the Golden Plunker. So let's go for a double 6 to end this scenario. Oops. And that's half a 6, and that's a third of a 6. Whoops. Okay, so it's the Golden Knight to go again. The Golden Knight's going to attack me with 10. Do I use a Scroll of Defence? Yes, I do. It says at the bottom, does not cost an action point to use, because, of course, it's never happening on your turn. It's happening in defence. So, I'm defending against 10. I'm using now 3d6 to defend, because I've used the Scroll of Defence. And I'm glad I did, because that's 8. So my 8 health points get nibbled down to 6. How long do I play with this knight? 3 action points. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much answered it for me. So I'm going to go for the first. I'm going to go for 2 normal attacks and an attempt at the insta kill. And then if he doesn't kill me the next time, then I'm going to use the Scroll of Death. So with these 3 action points, first attack, 8. His first defence, more than 8. My second attack, 9. His second defence, exactly 9. And finally, my attempt at activating my specialist skill, the insta-kill. Ah, I get halfway there. Okay, that's my action points gone. It's now the turn of the golden statue, the golden warrior, the golden knight, sorry. Aha! He's weakening. He has 6. I'm just going to go ahead and defend with my normal 2d6. It's got exactly 6, so, you know, only just, but I'm fine. Right, I'll roll for action points one more time. 5. That to me says 4 normal attacks, and if they haven't killed him, I'm going to use the scroll and kill him. Or possibly the instant kill. We'll see. Here come the attacks. Attack number 1, 11. Defense number 1. Oh, more than 11. Surprise. Attack number 2. 9. Defense number 2. 13. He's fine. Third attack. 6. Third defense. 11. So he's fine. Final attack. 6. Final defense. 3. I've nibbled his 5 down to 2 now. 2 health points remaining on the uber baddie of the scenario. I have a single health point, a single action point remaining. I'm not going to go ahead and use the Scroll of Death. That just feels unfair and unchivalrous. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt my instant kill, which will be some sweeping Viking head removing thing, I'd imagine, from Ragnar. Double 6 is not in the pan. So his turn again. Oh, he's very weak now. Look at that. 4. I defend with 5. Roll for action points. I've got 5 action points. This is the gods telling me to just keep nailing this thing down. So I've got 4 allowed attacks. The first one is 7. He defends. The second is 7. And he doesn't defend. He loses another health point. 7v6. He's down to his last health point now. Third attack. 7. Another 7. Third defense. Yeah, okay. Final attack from Ragnar. 5. Final defense from the Golden Knight. Yeah, it's more than 5 because there's a 5 right there. 13. So, with Ragnar's single action point. Dare he use the Scroll of Death now? No, of course not. He's going to take the 2 lowest scoring dice from last time and hope for a double 6 for the insta-kill to give the Golden Knight the death he deserves. But fails. Right, Golden Knight's going to attack once more. Oh, okay. He's got a bit feistier now. Okay, 10. I'm going to defend just with my normal 2 dice with 9. Okay, so Ragnar loses a health point down to 5. Here we go. Ragnar's. I think this will be the final turn of the scenario, guys. I would imagine. 6 action points. So I'm going to give it 4 attacks. If he survives those, I'm going to go for 1 attempt at the insta-kill, and if he survives all of that, then I'm going to take him out with the Scroll of Death. I think that's pretty clear that the dice gods are telling me to do that. First attack is 6. His first defense. Oh, look at that! Is 6. Blimey. These are risk levels of excitement. Second attack. 7. His defense. Oh, plenty. He's rallied. Third attack. 7. Third defense. Ah, he's well on his way. Fourth attack. 8. Fourth defense. Yes, the Golden Knight. I'm rooting for the Golden Knight here. So finally, we're going to try and attempt to activate Ragnar's insta-kill as he comes sweeping toward the Golden Knight for the final time. Oops, and dropping a dice in excitement en route. Ah, and he's failed. So with his final action point and with a heavy heart, Ragnar Agathorn pulls out the Scroll of Death, bows reverentially to the Golden Knight, and spends his final action point destroying it utterly, thereby winning the scenario. I thank you. So huge thanks to Trevor Ainsworth over in Nova Scotia. Thank you so much for writing this. Really enjoyed reading it. Really enjoyed a little bit of editing and tweaking to make it work. We had a really hard run through here. I thought I'd just go the easy route. There's way less spawn points here than here. In fact, there's half as many. There's 2 here and 4 there. So I thought we'd give the characters a nice easy run into what could be a very hard run. Boy, that big spawn at the start, spawning 5 enemies in here, that really slowed us down. It showed off some really interesting mechanics, I think, getting trapped in the corners and stuff and moving stuff around. Yes, entirely authentically, this should have gone to the bottom of the pile, I believe, twice. But it did not. It just skittered along skittered along the floor, and we used an action point to pick it up each time. So there could be a, quote, authentic, unquote, version of this exact scenario to come in the future. I think if doing so, though, I'd probably go for 3 characters rather than 2. But otherwise, that's it. It's all over. So thank you very much for joining us. It's Christmas Eve here. For those who celebrate, we don't celebrate particularly, but we are having lovely family times and enjoying the holidays and enjoying the people who we're with. So now I'm going to go and enjoy the evening, as I hope you all do too. Thank you very much for joining us. Please keep spreading the word about the Kickstarter as and when you get an opportunity to. Where's the... there we are. I'm not very good at this, but there we are. There we are. There's the link, so you can go ahead and click that link, bit.ly/TGL relaunch. And I shall see you definitely between now and next Thursday, which is New Year's Eve, when I'll be doing another run through of another fan-written homebrew. Between now and then, I'll definitely be running through a couple of scenarios from the standard box as well. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. Much appreciated. So have a good evening, and yeah, and I'll see you in the updates. And for those who celebrate, happy holidays to all and sundry. Farewell.